Hey, Andre, just what you thought with things are going so well in the first half. What do you think swung when things after halftime?
The game got slowed down a little bit. They were in a penalty with about 8:17 to go in the third, and it just kind of slowed us down a little bit. When we get stops and get out, I think that's our best offense. But when the ball keeps going through the hoop, we got to take it out of bounds and try to get into a flow. Um, that's something we got to continue to work on, and I think Bucks did a good job of realizing that, and they were on attack, being down, and you know, do a haymaker at us and got back in it pretty quick.
Barry Jackson is next.
Andre, obviously you've made across the board contributions last couple of games like we're used to seeing. Do you like the rhythm you're in? Do you feel anywhere close to where you were in the playoffs last season at this point, even with the layoff?
For me, it's, different type of games. I think I have a different mindset depending on what the team needs. So just trying to play winning basketball, and then understanding that sometimes that may not reflect the contribution on the stat sheet and being comfortable with that. I think a lot of times, especially in our game today, we tend to look at the stat sheet too much to determine whether guys had a good game or not. So for me, it's just trying to fill the void. We had two guys out tonight, two of our main guys who do the bulk of the scoring and the playmaking. So knowing that going into the game, I just switched gears a little bit and try to be a little bit more aggressive and fill up a void as a group, but knowing that I can shoulder some of the load a little bit more than other guys.
Thank you.
Cooper Moorhead.
Hey, Andre, both teams, like a lot of teams, have always tried to build that wall and keep Giannis out of the paint. What were the defensive breakdowns tonight that were letting him get to the rim?
I think he did a really good job of forcing the issue. His spin move was very effective tonight. So we didn't adjust as well as we could have, but I think it's a learning point. Looking to try to take it one game at a time, but potentially in the future, knowing that's something we got to key in if that opportunity presents itself going up against them again.
Anthony Chan, go ahead.
Hey, Andre. What's been the biggest adjustment for you in how the Heat are using you, maybe compared to previous teams you've been on, or is it pretty similar to the way you were used in Golden State?
I'll just try to take it one game at a time. I'm adjusting on the fly. There's a lot of different principles used across the NBA with different teams, so you just learning the terminologies and exactly where they want you on the floor. Just trying to pick up on it and have it stick without having to think too much about it on the court. When you're hearing it, you're reacting or you're being proactive. I think that's the biggest thing for me, just being proactive, being in the position early. The Heat do a really good job of getting the reps and game reps and practice and making sure that, they like having a well-oiled machine. So had a really good first couple weeks coming into the bubble, just getting back into the flow of things. And it seems like I think I can play still. So I'm confident in my game, but I feel like I can take it to another level. And, just enjoying the game. I think that's the biggest thing. There's a lot going on in our world and in the bubble that can bog you down a little bit. So, being on that court is like kind of like, that safe space you can get away and free your mind. So just trying to enjoy the whole situation.
Barry Jackson, go ahead.
No.
All right. Last question. Adams, Heat TV.
Hey, Andre, what are some takeaways that you're taking from this game in preparation for the playoffs?
Well, we got to use our strength, and we got to use the strength of our numbers. Trying not to say that as a Golden State saying, but it holds true across the league. The teams who make the longer runs or the teams that are championship pedigree. Everybody in the roster is always ready to be of contribution to the team, and I feel like we have a lot of depth. It's a gift and a curse with our team. Some guys may not have minutes one night, and the next minute they're thrown in the fire, just like tonight. But I say our guys did a really good job of just being ready to play. The first half was sort of, what I just spoke about in terms of guys being ready. And then the second half, we kind of just ran out of gas. But I see some positives with our depth and guys being ready and available. Psychologically, that weighs heavy on the brain, not knowing what your minutes are going to look like. But Spo does a really good job addressing that early on, letting guys know, hey, you never know when your opportunity may come, and try to take advantage of it. So we have a lot of depth, and we make sure guys are ready and trying to help